Hi all, and thanks for being with me. Just a couple of things I want to add to the beginning of this session is that I interviewed a bloke by the name of John Amadio yesterday, and this is on a series I want to do for some time on heroes that are in our community that don't tend to get the recognition that they should. And John is one of those, and I encourage everybody to have a look at that video. You'll find a link to that video down below in the comment section. So please have a look at that because it is fabulous and celebrates a man who's done some wonderful work in our community and gets very little, if no, recognition for that. Today I wanted to talk about Trump and the fact that the Supreme Court has decided that the United States should be governed by a king or a monarchy, or perhaps even worse, a dictatorship. Now, this is an incredible turn in the American political system because the right wing, supported by the Supreme Court, are deciding that the United States no longer should be the democracy that it has been, and that Trump will eventually find Trump now has the authority, if he wins power, to do whatever he likes and to be immune from any actions that he takes. So when he talked earlier on in 2016 about shooting anyone in Fifth Avenue and getting away with it, then today, if that is a presidential act, then he will get away with it. So watch out. It's most exciting, actually, watching what happens in the United States. I've said this for some time, that the fall of the United States is probably a long time overdue, and that it's been heading in this right-wing direction for quite some time now, and we're now seeing the culmination of everything that the right wing has done in order to bring itself into power and to have the authority that it needs to change all those radical left views of the world, including abortion, the right to free speech. Gun control, of course, is an issue that will never be resolved in the United States because they're just stubborn bastards, and they're quite happy with children, women, and generally everybody being shot and killed because that's their amendment right, apparently. So we're watching the downfall of the United States before our very eyes. And it's something which I find disturbing because not every US citizen believes in what Trump and the right wing of the Republican Party are planning to do. And to some people in the United States, it's terrifying. So what I've done is I've put a video together that came from MSNBC, which highlights what the Supreme Court have done, and at the end does mention what the dissenters of that particular vote are also declaring. So have a look at that, and let me know what you think on the other side, and I will talk about it then.
A monumental win at the Supreme Court for former President Trump, the conservative majority finding the presumptive GOP nominee must receive sweeping immunity for any official acts taken during his presidency. The 6-3 ruling a defeat for special counsel Jack Smith, with the court bulldozing through the charges against Mr. Trump for his alleged criminal efforts to stay in power, making the completion of any trial before November virtually impossible.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do.
Chief Justice John Roberts laying out a new sliding scale of what can be prosecuted, saying a president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers, that he has immunity from prosecution for all his official acts, but that a president has no immunity for private, unofficial acts, while cautioning the president is not above the law. A federal grand jury indicted the former president for orchestrating a conspiracy to retake the White House, Prosecutors alleging he leaned on his DOJ, VP, and state officials to help him reverse the election results, mobilizing meetings of fake electors, it all culminating in the violent attack on the Capitol on January 6. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to all charges and argued without immunity, every president could be prosecuted by political opponents.
If you don't have immunity, you're not going to do anything. You're going to become a ceremonial president. You're not going to take any of the risks.
The majority agreeing the commander-in-chief must be able to carry out his constitutional duties without risk of political prosecution. Writing, without immunity, such types of prosecutions of ex-presidents could quickly become routine, and that would weaken the presidency, which is exactly what the framers intended to avoid. The special counsel had pushed to get the case to trial before November.
My office will seek a speedy trial.
The ruling now dramatically chipping away at parts of Smith's case. The justices finding Mr. Trump's urging the then Attorney General to investigate voter fraud now absolutely immune from prosecution. What remains in the indictment, including his pressure on his former VP,
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us,
are now entitled to a presumption of immunity. The liberal justices with a blistering pushback. Justice Sotomayor writing, when a president uses his official powers in any way, under the majority's reasoning, he will now be insulated from criminal prosecution. Orders the Navy SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival, immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power, immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon, immune. Even if these nightmare scenarios never play out, the damage has been done.
So the issue there for me is that, number one, we need to keep in mind, I guess, that this has not been tested in the United States. So this needs to go back to the case which Smith was charging him over, and the district court needs to make decisions based on this ruling, what is in and what is out, what can be charged, what can't be. And even though the things that can be charged for Trump, that will have to be tested and eventually will get sent back to the Supreme Court to be tested any further if he's found guilty. So where does this place the United States? Well, actually, I'm at a point where I don't give a damn, because whatever comes to them, comes to them. The problem that we have is that a lot of what the United States does, how they think, how they respond to certain issues, particularly international issues, does tend to affect all of us to some extent. You know, if they got rid of AUKUS, great idea, I reckon. We should learn to live on our own, stand on our own 2 feet anyway. So let me know what you think in relation to this decision, whether it does diminish the United States in the eyes of the world, whether or not you think Trump and his cohorts will implement this. And I just need to say that one of my instincts is that that Trump will be, that Trump's weak. That's not an instinct, that's probably a fact. But that the people that control, the people that will be in power with him, that will be part of his administration, the Steve Bannons of this world and others, will use their influence to inform Trump of the actions that he needs to take. So Trump hasn't got the courage or the guts to be able to stand up against them. So, and he hasn't got the moral ability to be able to do that. He's completely amoral. So the others that will be taking over the administration if Trump wins will be the ones who will be determining what actually happens within his administration, not Trump himself. Trump will merely become the puppet for what the right wing in the Republican Party wish to accomplish. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Ring the bell for further notifications. And remember to take care of yourself and make sure that you and the others around you are safe.